Welcome to the Barter Edge podcast, your insider guide to smarter business, bigger networks, and better ways to trade. We're here to share real stories, expert tips from different industries, and fresh ideas to help you grow your business using the power of Bartercard. Welcome back to another episode of the Barter Edge. Today I am here with a very special guest, one of our partners, Matt Alderton from Bx Networking Reimagined. Bx's mission is to help you become the business owner you were born to be. I love that is their mission. Matt, can you please introduce yourself and share more with our listeners about what Bx is?
Awesome. Thanks, Jen, for having me. Great to be here as well on this beautiful Sydney day. Not. Anyway, it's a good place to be inside. But my name's Matt Alderton. I'm the CEO and founder of Bx. I've got a mission to help business owners grow and scale. We run events and education for small business across 5 countries. And we're very busy and active within the Australian marketplace, especially where we're from. I'm Sydney-based, as I mentioned, and we're spread across the country and other countries as well. But it's our mission to help people grow their business, to live a wonderful life, have a great life. The business is the vehicle, but we do it so we can have a great life. And that's what we're about, helping people do.
I love that. I love it. Now, why did you partner with Bartercard, and how has it impacted the Bx community so far?
100%. So I've started with Bartercard, I think, back maybe 10 to 15 years ago. So it was pre-Bx, actually. So I used to own a bunch of retail and hospitality businesses, and we were introduced to Bartercard. Through that relationship, I used to sell vouchers and things like that for catering platters, etc. And we also then did point of sale purchases as well for customers who wanted to buy coffees or Subway or something like that at one of our shops. So that's my first introduction there. That worked really well. So when I started Bx back in 2015, I naturally just moved the Bartercard relationship into that business as well, and it was a key part of our growth. So we had an incredible account rep who is still with Bartercard today, actually, no longer in Sydney, but up on the Sunshine Coast he is. And Gianni was really passionate about helping Bx grow, and we're offering memberships on trade and doing all sorts of stuff on trade, and it really, really helped us grow Bx as a business, events and education organization, help people get into networking rooms to build their business. So it's been fantastic. So I look, we've used it for a long time. We probably, when we didn't have Gianni in in Sydney with us, we probably got a bit dormant in the Bartercard community. But we've really stepped back into it over the last sort of 12 months, and this year really, and things are just like cranking. I think we did the highest ever sales in trade that we've had done in any period of time. I think we did in about a week at the end of financial year deal that we ran, and the team are just doing amazing work. Then finding the opposite side, so we did lots of sales, so now they're helping us get rid of all that extra trade that we've got now, and save ourselves a ton of money across the other offers and stuff like that for B2B services for us. So it's great. It's going really well.
That's such an incredible outcome. And there have been some big changes within the Bartercard community, and you've summed that up so well. Like, that relationship is back. The care from the account managers is back. And it's not about just getting business, but it's where can I then use those trade dollars to reduce other cash expenses. So speaking of that, what are some of the most innovative or strategic ways you've been able to use your trade dollars to grow Bx?
I don't want to share my secrets. I don't want you. No, I'm kidding, of course. Look, to be honest, I think you either have one problem or the other problem when you're dealing in a trade economy, and you hear it all the time. Someone will say, there's 1,000 things for me to buy, but no one's buying what I'm selling. Or I can sell my stuff so easy on trade, but I can't find the right suppliers to buy from. The best advice that I got, though, was from Gianni, actually, back years ago, where we sat down, and he used to catch up with us on a regular basis. The Bartercard office was actually in Beverly Hills in Sydney, which was 5 minutes from my head office, which was in Mortdale. And we used to catch up for coffee on a regular basis. But he would bring a list of suppliers, and he'd have, the web access and the portal and stuff like that he would have access to. And I used to literally bring a list of what I was buying on a daily and weekly basis. And we'd go through that, and he'd go, yes, no, yes, no, yes. And he would walk away with an action list of places to help me people to connect me with. But the best success I've had, it's definitely, you want to find places, like the hack is, you find places where you're already spending your money. So just looking at your credit card statement or your bank statement over the past couple of months and highlighting off those companies, the B2B that you're buying your products and services from, and then looking into the network to see, the Bartercard network, to see who those businesses are in there. And so for us, classic big spends for us, and that's where you start with your big spends. Often it's not always in the big spends, it's lots of little spends, but if you start with a few big wins. Printers was a big one for us, finding we do a lot of printing. There's a lot of collateral that goes out across our network, so we do a lot of printing through the Bartercard network, so that does save us. It's an instant cash conversion then. So where we were paying a cash supplier, now we're paying Bartercard. And so it's a really good offset of that. One of the other ones that works really well for us, has historically too, is venues. So because of our events, we run a lot from cafes and restaurants through to event spaces. We've been able to really tap into some, and there's not a lot that sort of suit the needs of us. There's lots of venues, but not all suit the purposes of what we need them for. But we don't need a lot. But basically, if we've got clients that are spending cash with us to attend an event, and we're able to pay for that event on trade, we're basically getting paid for in cash what we're going to be spending on trade. So it's an instant cash conversion. It's not even a spend conversion. It's like literally I'm being paid cash and I'm paying this person, this business trade. So it's an instant cash conversion. So they're really good sort of instant sort of wins for us. But we also have a team that do a lot of travel. And so they're traveling interstate and international. And this has been a really great support for us. So we've been connected up with a company. They're called Find My Stays. Gentleman called David, and he's like the booking.com for Bartercard. And so it's not 100% trade. He has to pay the hotels a certain portion of it. But what happens is when you're buying at a wholesale rate, there's a margin. That margin, David then charges the Bartercard portion of. So it's basically dropped our cash spend down by about maybe 20 or 30% on all of our accommodation. And we're spending that 20 to 30% on trade. So David gets the trade off the back of the commission, but he's getting lots of bookings through the system, and we're paying cash for the wholesale rate part of it, I guess. But like it's an instant saving as well, because we're going to be spending cash on it, and now we're spending 70% of it's still cash, but we're getting that 30% instant offset in it as well. So that's really good. Definitely the travel and tourism side of things has been better and better. Booking cars and stuff like that, hotel transfers and airport transfers and things like that. So lots of different ways. But yeah, my hot tip, my hot hack is pull out your credit card statement, your bank statement, see who you're paying every day, week and month. And even if you do it for 2 or 3 months, you'll be surprised about the number of suppliers that there are in the trade network that you can then go, and just write yourself a list and get your top 20, put them in order and start working your way down it. Speak to your trade coordinator. It's amazing how quickly you can offset some of that spend.
And you can also put in a trade request form as well of where you're currently spending and what you're wanting in the network as well. And we have a team up here on the Gold Coast that are looking at helping our members wherever we can by bringing in key different spends into the network as well. And as we know, as Bartercard members, we love supporting other Bartercard members as well.
100%. And that was a great initiative. I love that. We've done that a couple of times, filled out that trade request so we can just, keep you guys in touch with what we need. And, gives you a focus for recruiting new Bartercard members as well, or just pointing us in the right direction of current members.
I remember going to my first Bx meeting probably about 3.5 years ago now, and I made some amazing connections in that room and got some pay it forward slips and all of that sort of thing from other members. And this was the first time I had ever met them, and they were willing to connect me with people. And I was new to the Gold Coast at the time, so I didn't have a large network. And it was a great event. It was a nighttime event as well, Matt. I've got to say, I do not love the 6:45, 7 a.m. stuff for networking. I am not a morning person. But why is networking so vital in business?
Well, just to talk to the timing. So it's so funny because our earliest events start at 8 a.m. for two reasons. One, and foremost, the members, because because we're quite an inclusive network. We are an inclusive network. What we found is that lots of networking that started before 8 a.m. was traditionally very male heavy, and we're very 50-50 split, male and female. Now, traditionally and currently, there's still a larger portion of women that do the kid drop-offs and stuff like that. Right or wrong, but you make up your own mind on that, but that's just the reality of the family dynamics. And what that meant is we had a lot less women who were coming along that were going along to our meetings, not our meetings. So that's why we made it 8 o'clock. So it opened the door for people who were, wanted to be able to network, but potentially could have. And it was skewing towards male. So many of those events were skewing towards male. And I've done a lot of networking outside of BX as well. And that's definitely the case. Lots of very heavily male skewed networking out there. The other side of it is we do lunches and dinners, of course, which are always handy. I don't mind a good lunch and dinner because they're, have a glass of wine with my lunch and dinner. I choose coffee and breakfast, obviously. Yeah, now I've forgotten the question you asked me, Jen.
But why is networking so vital for business? And that's a great point. It's such a differentiator for you as well, having that 8 a.m. start. It's a lot more feasible as a mum myself as well, because, those really early starts, even with the support of before school care, it doesn't even open early enough to be able to then get to the event, which then does really limit the amount of networking you can do if you do have a young family and you are responsible for doing the school drop-off. So I absolutely love that, Matt. But networking why do we need to do it?
Well, do you know what? It is more important than ever to network. The reason why I say that is we're moving and rapidly moving at the rate of knots into an AI and digital world. We've been online, we've been digital for some time in so many elements. COVID pushed us very much into a digital mindset. We do lots more online in terms of meetings. The challenge we've got though is you could be sitting across from an AI bot right now answering these questions that you're asking, and you wouldn't actually know if it was or wasn't. And some of the bots that are out there and the AI avatars that are out there are phenomenal. And the uptake of this technology and the improvements in this technology are happening so fast, there's no way to keep in front of it. So you're never going to know, and you're going to know less and less and less. Even if you did know yesterday, it might be better today, and it will be better today. So the reality is that human to human is actually the currency of the now. If you are not in front of people, talking to people and building real relationships with people, you're going to fall behind in business. Because you can market through AI and you can do all those things online, which are valuable ways to build your business. But the true currency of building your business is that human to human contact and that real contact. It's because we know it's real when you're in front of someone, when you can touch that person appropriately, that it's like a real conversation. It's authentic conversation. And at the moment, so much of what we see online is fabricated. My kids tell me all the time. I send them this meme or something or some video on Facebook or Insta that I've looked at, and I'll share it with them, and they're like, "Dad, that's not real." I'm like, "What? How is that not real?" And they're like, "No, it's fake. It's AI." And I'm like, "Gosh, it's just so incredible what's being created now digitally and through AI and yeah." So we don't know what's real. You can't tell if it's real, and the reality is for us, face to face, we know that it's real. And that's going to help us. And relationships are how you build your business. Relationships through, leveraging and building relationships through people's communities and introductions and referrals. It's such a warm, organic and a powerful way to build your business. It doesn't replace everything else, but everything needs a balance. So networking is going to be an absolute key fundamental to that.
And I think, Matt, as well, like when you create that bond within a network, like if you're going to regular meetings, then business can be incredibly lonely as well. Like there's only usually one or two owners within a business, and especially for the smaller businesses where you could be literally working for yourself. You may have a team or something, but it's amazing the value you can get from listening to other experts in their fields, because then you can talk about, well, where am I now? What are my challenges? And who can be a trusted advisor to help me with that? So that level of trust when you're regularly seeing people makes a huge impact on not only growing your business, but helping you reduce some of those problems. Would you agree with that?
Oh my gosh, yeah, 100%. So, I think it's like 70 or 80% of businesses in Australia are sole operated businesses. Even if you've got a couple of employees, there's only like 1% that are doing more than 10 million in turnover. So there's not most businesses are considered small business in Australia. The reality is, even if you've got a couple of employees, you're usually the smartest person in that room. If you hire really well, maybe you've got, one or two people that are expert in a certain particular area of business. But the reality is, most of the time, the business owner is the smartest person in their business, just in terms of they know the business, they've been doing it longer, they've got the experience factor. The reality is, if you're the smartest person in your sphere, then you're not growing. And I know when you walk into a room of business people, especially a networking environment, there's lots of smart people in their area of tradecraft and in business experience that can help you grow your business. I always say we're the average of the 7 people we hang around with the most. So if we hang around other business owners that are successful, growing a successful business and generally successful in life, then that's going to lift our average and give us a higher chance of success. So, there's no question that you just get smarter by osmosis by being in a room like that, but you're also tapping into the minds and expertise of those business owners who are all there to support each other. I know of so many cases, like more cases than not, of business owners that just help other business owners, not because they're getting paid to do so, but they just do it kindly off the back of their, just generosity to help people, be successful in business and life. And that's the unsort of known quantity in terms of networking and the value that you get from it. I love it.
Totally agree with you, Matt. Now, there's networking done well, and then there's some pretty cringeworthy networking things that people can be doing. Can you give us 3 practical tips to be a better networker?
I see it all, obviously, through the network. I get around to many of our events, and I've been networking for a long time beyond Bx, and have done lots of networking to help me build businesses in the past as well. And you see what people do really well, and you see what they don't do well. So, the hacks, I suppose you'd call it. My first and foremost one that I always tell people, and when I go to a Bx meeting, often talk about this in the room to people, but it's don't sell. Because when you sell, you repel. People don't like to be sold to. Networking is a relationship building activity where you're going to ask for great connections, and those connections are to other partners, so partners that are going to help you grow your business. So tip number 1, don't sell at people. You actually turn people off. People are less likely to want to help you if you sell to them. If you go in there to add value and to connect people and to support and serve other people, you will hands down get way more opportunities off the back of that. It's like a karma thing. So when what does Gary Vee say? Give, ask. Like, if you're just so focused on the other person, you will, when you ask for something when you need it later on, they'll hands down give it to you. But so many people walk in and it's the first thing they do is they ask and put their hand out and say, I want this. And in a salesy kind of way, you'll repel immediately. The second thing is, I started touching on it, is, when we're in a room, the most valuable connection that we can ask for, because we always, at a networking environment, they give you an opportunity to pitch. So you introduce yourself and your business, and you usually ask for something. Old school networking, they pitch the sale, they pitch for an end client. At Bx, we educate to pitch for a referral partner. So a referral partner for your business is another business that serves all the same types of clients that you serve in your business, but the business doesn't compete with you. So you think your classic mortgage broker and your real estate agent. So a mortgage broker is helping people find the money to buy a home, and the real estate agent is helping people find the home that they need to move into or invest in as a investment property or whatever. So one provides the money, one provides the home. They don't compete with each other because it's a completely different product, but they serve the same end client. And because they serve the same end client, they could share that client. So when the mortgage broker is sitting in front of their client and they go, hey, so I've got you the money. Did you have your house picked out? And they go, no, I haven't even started looking. And they go, fantastic. I know, where are you looking to buy? This area here. I know the perfect real estate agent in that area. Let me introduce you. It's a warmed up client, ready to buy, ready to connect. On the flip side, and this is probably more common, when the real estate agent says, great, we've got your property, let's get contracts drawn up, have you got your finance organized? When that person sits there and goes, oh yeah, no, I haven't done my finance yet, which happens a lot, they go, no worries, I know the perfect person, they can do it super fast, they've done heaps of successful deals, let me introduce them to you. Like, that client is ready to buy off the mortgage broker straight away because they're primed, ready, and warmed up, ready to go. That relationship is strategic because those two people, the mortgage broker and the real estate agent, they're prospecting on behalf of each other all the time. They're speaking to their clients, and if they need them, they're sending them their way and vice versa. It's the most powerful referral you can get because it's from a trusted source to a trusted source, and they're primed up, ready to go. We find that is the most powerful way to get new clients because you're not even needing to sell to that potential client. They're already ready to go. So tip number 2, 100%, is focus on the referral partner because it's not a sales conversation. It's also a conversation that you're going to help that person find clients that you've already got access to that you can make introductions for. So that's tip number 2. The third tip that I would say is go to have fun. So most people, why do they join a network? They join because they go, I need new clients. I need sales. So networking is the place to go. Everybody says go network for new clients. So I go to the network, but I'm in an environment where I don't know many people. I've got to now pitch my business. I say, don't stress about all that. Go to an environment that is inclusive, it's friendly, it's fun, and really should be like going to breakfast, lunch, or dinner with your family and friends. You go there, it's communal style tables where you're sitting together. It's a really light-hearted, energetic paced event. Like, networking should be fun. You should enjoy it. You should want to go because you're around a bunch of people that you love working with. And the reality is, if you're not selling to each other, there's none of that sticky, icky, irky kind of feeling that people get from a lot of networking because it's just about enjoying yourselves and having a great breakfast. We do a bit of business with their pay it forwards and stuff like that, but it's about making great connections to referral partners. It's not about, selling to each other or selling to each other's networks and things like that. So go to have fun, and you'll be that kind of person because you're having fun. You'll sort of emanate fun, and people want to hang around you. People want to help you, and then you'll enjoy it even more. Top 3 tips there.
I love that, Matt. And I don't know, I've been in some networking groups in the past where, or you go and visit and people have got relationships within the room and they don't welcome the visitors really well, and then it gets really uncomfortable. And I think that, we build our relationships outside of the breakfasts or the lunch or the dinners by meeting in between, but we want to really include all of the visitors so that they do have a great experience, don't we?
100%. So I think the interesting thing is, and I've been on team across a number of different networks, so not singling anyone out, but I know from our perspective that I've always, the way we set Bx up is to serve everyone when they're in the room, not serve the member only or serve the guest only, to serve everyone. So the meeting when you're there it's the same for members and guests. You all get the same experience and the same opportunities. You get the same length of time to pitch your business. You get to do the one-to-ones and all that sort of stuff. Whereas a lot of other networks, one network in particular, the whole meeting experience is designed around the guest, and everything else that the members do, they're supposed to do that outside of the event in more time dedicated to building the business. And the meeting format is designed 100% for guest conversion. So the members are there, superfluous to the actual process. They're just there for the audience kind of thing. I find, if you've got people in a room together and they're business owners, then they're busy. Their time is really precious to them. So every minute you have of them, you should be giving them value. And so that's what we've done. Whether they're a member or their guest, the experience should be fun, rewarding, energetic, and you should be getting lots of value from it.
I love that. Absolutely love it. It's so true that it's like you don't want to walk into a networking event and feel excluded, whether you're a member or a non-member. And
100%.
We've got an incredible partnership with you that if someone new signs up to Bartercard, they get a silver membership with Bx included in that. So you can go and network for 2 months through the Bx platform, get a real taste for it, but then attract cash paying customers as well and make a wider connection. So it's amazing to have partnerships like the one between Bx Networking and Bartercard, because we're all here for the same purpose, and that is to help businesses grow and find opportunities that they otherwise wouldn't have been able to find. So great initiative that you've been able to come together with us with.
Amazing. And it, basically with the silver membership, you can come along and check out a Bx meeting. You get a couple of vouchers in there that cover you for the meeting fee, the breakfast, the lunch, or the dinner. So it covers all that. So it gets you in the door, it gets you the trial, have a trial experience. And then our membership is 100% trade. So to be honest, there's no better way to grow your business through Bartercard than spending on a supplier that markets your business, because you spend it's like doing Facebook ads on trade, basically, if that was a possibility with Facebook. Meta aren't that open, but if you're spending money like that, you're going to get a return on investment off the back of it, which means you're spending trade to get new sales. That's my perfect scenario for spending money on trade, because you're converting it to cash. So it's really powerful. So, that's what we want to help people do. So if you are a Bartercard member, you should absolutely be part of Bx, because you can utilize your trade dollars and we'll help you build your business, your cash business at the same time.
Fantastic. Now, Matt, one last question. We have gone over time today, but if a business owner was thinking about joining Bartercard, what advice would you give them?
Look, I said before that, one of the greatest commodities of small business owners was time. If I had to pick the other one, and I don't know which is first or second, but it definitely is up there with first or second, and that's money. Like if you had to protect two things at all costs as a business owner, it's your time and it's your money. So the time thing is a separate thing, but money is like cash is king. So I know from a small business perspective, especially like lots of startup businesses, but even businesses that are scaling, the one thing you got to be really careful of is your cash flow. If you're growing your business, like any business wants to do, then utilizing trade to get new customers and build your trade balance by selling your products and services, and then using those trade dollars to then spend to market your business are going to do two things. It's going to save cash on your marketing, but it's also going to generate new business as well. And so with every new client that comes in the door, there's two opportunities. One, obviously there's the trade income, which pays for the marketing and other services you're going to save on. But also every new client comes with a referral as well. So every new client, we should be tapping into the opportunity of that new client, saying, who do you know that could use my services as well? And I'm happy to reward you for that, referral. And you can actually reward that referral with something from the trade exchange as well in there, or you could just buy a gift voucher or whatever you want to do. But rewarding referrals is a great thing to do from your new customers, and then you're actually building your business in two different fronts, while on the third front getting it from new business out of Bartercard. Because at the end of the day, if someone asked me what Bartercard is, and I was sitting in a meeting the other day, I was at Tumbiumbi on the central coast of New South Wales, and I was chatting to her about Bartercard, and I've actually introduced her to you guys already, but she's a travel planner and she helps people do travel. And she said, why would I do it? And I said, because it's basically free marketing for your business. Bartercard is a marketing agency, and they want to do two things for you. They want to help you sell more of what you're selling, and they want to help you spend that money through the trade exchange. To me, if somebody can help me save money by spending it through the trade exchange, save cash. And if they want to help me sell more of my products and services, then what a great scenario for for a partner in your business. That's definitely how we see Bartercard. They're a partner in our business that helps us market and grow our business and save us a ton of cash on our spends as well. To me, it's a no-brainer because it just helps you do the two things that you need to do in the business. You reduce your expenses and your cash outflow and increase your revenue. And, you're doing both of those for us every day, week and month. So it's fantastic.
Well, Matt, thank you so much for sharing so much value with our listeners today. It's always great catching up and having a chat. And if you want to get in contact with Bx, make sure you go into MyBC and connect with them. Go and check out some of their networking events. And you never know who else is going to be in the room that could help you grow.
100%. Thanks, Jen. So great to be here today.
Thank you for being with us today and sharing your stories and expertise. If you want to find out how Bartercard can help your business, or if you want to be a guest on our future podcasts, contact our team at hello@bartercard.com. Make sure you tune in for our next episode of the Barter Edge.